Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size.
We're back.
Oh,
We're
are we
back.
back?
We're back.
We're back.
Where am I? Okay, I'm down there.
Where am I?
You can't even see it because I'm so far away, but we watched
The Amazing
Spider-Man
Spider-Man 2.
Spooder number tutor.
The one without Tobey Maguire.
The one without Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, we watched Amazing Spooder Duder number tutor.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, so what we do here, we just talk about the movie, we give you a plot, we give you some funnies, we give you some baddies, we give you some goodies, and we give you
If there is any goodies.
the world stuff.
Some
So,
world stuff.
let's get into this. I'm going to read the box. It's great to be, well, I don't know.
Kool-Aid fam, thank you for following.
What
us.
I get
Yeah,
the
thanks.
last movie?
Well, we can go over that in just a minute once we get to the ratings.
Yeah.
So for Peter Parker, there's no feeling quite like swinging between blah blah blah. There's Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man, and then there's Electro Man, and then Harry Osborn. That's the movie. That's pretty much all we had. So to give you an idea, this movie starts off with Peter's parents kind of giving more background on
On what?
what they were doing and kind of why they were doing.
But
But
why
it's
were
not
they doing
too
it?
much. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't give us all of it, and that's kind of the plot of the movie. Is he's trying to figure out why his parents disappeared and why his dad's name has been slandered.
Slander.
And then opening it up after that, we have the action sequence of Spider-Man zooming around the city, where he kind of meets a few people. I think Electro's introduced at the start, isn't he?
Yeah, he saves Electro.
Human
Or as
character.
Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx.
he
As
saves
Max.
Jamie Foxx. And
Oh,
where are we at after that? So we got Spider-Man. He finds Electro. What do you want? What do you want?
come on, you got it.
He's got Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Their relationship is picking
On
up.
ice.
They're doing pretty
Their-
good.
The relationship's on and off the whole movie.
But then yeah,
I mean, that's most of Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man this entire movie's trying to protect Gwen Stacy. So
So he's like, I love you, but we can't be together.
I keep
but
seeing
I
your
love
ghost
you.
dad.
and I guess we could jump into how Electro gets his powers. So since the villain is Electro, he's like this dude who's ignored by society, and he ends up like having to stay late for a shift
On his
and-
birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on his birthday.
On his
nonetheless.
birthday.
And he tries to connect some stuff together and gets shocked. He gets static shocked
Static Shock.
and
is not that
becomes
cool.
Black Lightning.
Yep.
Isn't he a superhero?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's a
yeah, there
DC
you go.
guy.
There you go.
And he, like I said, he's a misunderstood character. Starts roaming around the city to kind of figure out his powers, and Spider-Man just shows up and is like, "Hey, bro, you're not a bad dude. You're not a bad dude."
Oh, look at that sexy bitch.
But there are snipers, and they
Thankfully.
try to snipe him,
And
and
he's like, you lied to me, Spooder Man.
yeah, freaks him the hell out, and
And that's how he's just like, well, now Spider-Man's my
Yeah.
most hated
yeah,
enemy.
just because someone tried to snipe him while Spider-Man was being his friend, Spider-Man equals bad. Where are we at next? So, Norman Osborn.
Yeah, dies.
Yeah, Norman Osborn is dying because apparently it's genetic. The Green Goblin stuff that they
Well,
have.
they didn't really say anything about it. They just showed like his hands all.
Well, he said it's passed down. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's the
spent my
Osborn
entire
curse.
life
Yeah.
to fight this, and he passes it on to Harry, and he's pretty much shit talking Harry the whole time while they're interacting.
Good father-son bonding.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of this movie has a lot of good action early on, and then there are some scenes where Peter and Gwen have like some rough patches, and
Well, it turns into like a romance movie at one point.
well,
Like the
there's
scenes
that
you were
That's
talking-
like half the movie.
Yeah.
This is a
It's
romance
like
movie.
it's like action and then it slows down with him and Harry and then it's like here's a romance, quick
Yep.
20 minutes with them two and then it's like all right,
it's pretty much a
here's
lot of
back
action
with
after that.
Electro now.
But where are we at? So we got Harry, we got
Yeah,
he has his
Harry.
powers.
He needs Spider-Man's blood to not die.
yep.
Yeah, that's
And
just
how did they
theory.
capture Electro? He is eventually captured.
Well, Peter shot him with the fire.
Oh yeah,
Fire
and the
hat.
fire hat. He
Clothes.
has a little fire hat on. So we figure out that his weakness is water, which is kind of it's not like a pure weakness, but it was there, I guess, early on when he was still
It don't
learning
make
his
sense though
powers.
because the water goes into
Sure.
kind of. Yeah, but yeah.
Water conducts electricity.
I know.
And
so it kind of
so
sucks
when they,
this away
so
from him.
Oscorp is the ones who kind of
Don't-
keep him, and
it's
they're
stupid.
they're kind of testing on Electro to see what they can get out of him, because I mean that's what Oscorp is. This is a bad company that Visage is a good company, and eventually Harry Osborn's like, he gets ousted by his own company because nobody believes he's prepared for it, and he goes down to get Electro out, and they kind of team up. And that's where the movie just starts really just flowing heavily. I mean, at this point, we also know that Gwen Stacy is going to England for school, so Peter's
Oxford.
real upset about that. She's going to go Big Ben. After that, we pretty much wrap it all up with a big fight between Spider-Man and Electro. And that ends with Electro just exploding, basically.
Yeah, he kind of just died. It looked like.
Yeah, they don't even bat an eyelash after he disappears.
He shoots him with a bunch of electricity and overloads him or something.
Yeah, technically just like yeah.
And just disappears. After that, Green Goblin shows up, who is Harry Osborn.
They tried to take the spiders thing that gave Peter his powers, but it ended up fucking him up
Yeah,
because he didn't have his Peter's blood.
It looks like it just accelerated the gobliness,
Yeah, it definitely did.
goblin genes.
He even got a new hairdo.
And well, yeah,
Let's
he
see
got
this
a
thing. He
really,
went full blonde.
really new hairdo.
he got
And
a
then
new face and everything.
Goblin and Peter fight. Goblin sees Gwen, drops her. Peter tries to save her, cracks her neck. She dies. That's the movie. And then Rhino shows up at the end.
Potato, thank you
She
so much.
bust her head.
AJ, hi, I love you.
She bust her head.
She busted, yeah, she did bust her head
Busted nut.
Yep.
because he grabbed her and it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
And then Aunt May was
brain
like,
would
"I
be
know.
all
Too
over
bad Spider-Man's gone." And then the Rhino.
If she would have hit her head like that, though, her brain would be all over the
That's
floor.
what I was
This is a PG.
So
13 probably.
Just down there, he's like, oh.
If you follow the comics, in the comics, Gwen Stacy does die. It's canon.
It happened
pretty
like
early
50
on.
years ago.
Yeah. And she
Spoiler.
basically snaps her neck when Spider-Man tries to save her from falling. And this one, it's very, very similar, except it sounds like she just hits the bottom.
She does.
There's a
Yeah.
there's a
He hits
smack.
her here.
There's a smack on her.
Because when the web
head.
grabs her, it hits her here, and so when he grabs her,
her
he
body
yanks her, and it's just enough
Smack.
for her head to smack
Yep.
the fucking ground.
So,
But he's right.
That's a lot of the movie.
The back of that head would be open like a watermelon.
Technically, we had 3 bad guys, 3 villains. We can go into those next.
Oh yeah.
3. James Jameson.
Yeah, let's
Electro.
start with
yeah.
the Rhino.
Oh,
Yep.
Man,
he
Paul
shows up.
Paul Giamatti's a great actor, just not in this movie.
So the Rhino was in the movie. Yeah, he's at the end.
he's in the beginning.
he's at
I don't
the
know what the
beginning,
fuck he's
yeah.
doing in the
Oh,
beginning.
Yeah,
he's
he was-
driving the truck.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
He's stealing something from Oscorp.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the design they had on Rhino in this movie. He was like a
I'm
tech
big
suit.
mechanical. Yeah.
Oh, Levi, can we hear us?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yes.
Swag.
Who is that?
AJ.
What?
It's AJ.
Rhino. I don't like his tech suit in this movie, but it's cool to have him show up, I guess.
Yeah, it's because they very much so went for that Ultimate Universe
Yeah, they definitely did,
versions of
especially
everyone.
when what's his name went down there and you seen.
Yeah, but why
Yeah.
would he be stuck in that suit? That's just like a.
That might be-
No, he's not stuck in the Rhino suit.
yeah.
Scorpion's stuck in the Scorpion
I
suit.
thought Rhino was stuck in the Rhino suit.
Scorpion's
too.
stuck in the Scorpion suit, and it's Peter's fault.
Yeah, that one. And I thought Rhino was also stuck in the suit.
I think
Probably not
Rhino's
that
just
one.
an idiot.
Yeah, probably not.
That looked like a prototype, anyways. Kind of like
So let's.
Dude,
Yeah,
in
because
my
that one
opinion.
was in the basement with all the other
yeah.
Sinister Six gadgets that they set up for the third movie. that
Let's
never
jump
happened.
on our second villain, the not as major, Green Goblin. So, what do you guys think about him? I mean, how villainous was he?
He, I mean, he showed up and then he was gone.
Yep.
He showed up at the very end of the movie, and you could see small elements of Harry coming out as a Green
Like the-
Goblin throughout
yeah.
the movie, but not much.
Like they were trying to build it, like, and I get that, but then there wasn't enough movie left for him to matter.
No, it's so drawn out, and then he finally beats Electro, and then, hey, Green Goblin, you're like, what? And
Yeah.
another fight, and it lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah, he could have joined that fight. I felt like because
Yeah,
it was like this big fight between those two, and then it was just like He was like the evil witch from fucking Wizard of Oz. Just like he cashed in his fucking title for the belt and like went in after
After he was
God
drained.
damn it.
Yeah, he was already drained
Cashed
and
in
he
the
won it.
title for
Yeah.
the belt.
That's what he
Yeah, I
did.
mean, it would have been more like Spider-Man 3 with Venom
Yeah.
and
Sandman.
which I don't know. I mean, I
Which again,
when you compare them, Venom and Sandman are cooler as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as villains, but
Not
I
mine.
liked the fight scenes in
Yeah.
these two way better.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
They don't
I
have fucking poles.
that's
and
what
just-
that's what a
exactly
decade of
what-
learning how to do fight scenes has taught them.
For
Yeah.
real. You got anything about Green Goblin?
No, Rhino is stuck in the suit though.
Is he?
Oh, there you go. Get
Okay,
ready.
I don't know. I don't know Rhino.
Well, he may, like I said,
I know
it may
Rhino's,
not,
I know
it may not
Rhino's
be
an
that
idiot
suit
because you
just
run him
yet.
into the wall in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna jump away.
Yeah.
And then lastly, or Megan, did you want to say about Goblin?
No.
Like,
He looks like Gollum.
The Gobbler.
You look like Gollum.
Gobbler.
Green Goblin.
And
Oh.
lastly, we have Blue Man, Dr. Manhattan himself, Dr. Times Square himself, Electro, played by Jamie Foxx. What do you guys think about him, villain-wise?
I thought
I thought it was fine.
they did pretty good building him up and giving
Yeah,
and still giving him enough time
Yeah.
to be a villain.
A little
Plenty
cringe.
of time.
I
Yeah.
hate him at the beginning of this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
I
actors-
can't
Put
because
too much,
he's that person that the one person was ever nice to me. I am obsessed with that person
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
over stereotyped.
It's like-
character.
Well,
Yeah, it
they did way too much to make him like, hey, we want you to play as a nerd character, but everything's too ironic with him. He built that grid that they fought on at the end.
Yeah.
He's an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
He had to stay and help fix that.
That's all.
With their tanks full of electric
don't get me-
eels.
Yeah, like
He acted
it was,
so-
and then they put a gap in his teeth for
Electric.
some weird ass reason. The hair was already off,
And
and
then
he
they
had glasses.
fixed it when he got superpowers.
Yeah, that part needed to go away. I don't know why. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Maybe just don't put the gap in the teeth and you don't have to do a close up on
Have you
Jamie
guys
Foxx's
ever
mouth.
been to the dentist? That's how they fix your teeth. Braces are
electric-
just cute.
That's what braces
Shot
are.
it all together.
I liked him. I'll be fair with you. When I first saw it and I saw the design and everything, did not like him at all. But now going back and watching it, I think he having him shine as the star over Green Goblin was
Was
actually
nice.
a good
Green
choice.
Goblin
Yeah.
shouldn't have even been on the cover.
Green,
I agree.
Green Goblin.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's why
he
his
shouldn't have
back's
been on the
turned.
poster at all.
I mean, they even put Rhino on
They,
there,
like
so.
you're better
Yeah.
off
They
just
put everybody
hiding
on.
him and it being a surprise than advertising that the Green Goblin's in the movie. Because Green Goblin's in the movie the same
Honestly.
way as what's his name is
Venom
in.
was in the third one.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
Technically,
without
yeah.
a doubt. That's
yeah,
a
it's
great
just like
comparison.
fucking. Or have you? This is a weird one. You guys ever seen Anaconda?
Yeah.
The main actor in that
No.
was like, oh, he's in the movie. He's hot right now. He's great. And he goes into a coma in the first 5 minutes and wakes up the last 10.
Yeah,
It's like, well, he's not in the movie, is he? He's asleep on a bed.
But he saves the day.
I think we should talk about before we go. Actually, let's go into action. Action, action, action.
Pretty good.
It was good. It took him a while to get to some, but
Yeah.
I think more than anything that this movie is what inspired that PS4 Spider-Man game.
Yeah. Like,
Because boy, does it look like that game.
the opening
yeah, the
sequence,
swing, yeah, everything.
minus the airplane shit,
yeah,
Minus the
Spider-Man
plot.
comes
flinging around the city, doing all kind of cool moves, and then when you have the action scenes between him and Electro, the fights, everything is choreographed, everything looks great, it feels great, it tastes great. I just couldn't get
Yeah.
enough.
yeah,
Tastes
the cinematography was real good.
The Big Mac.
This is
movie.
McDonald's,
in.
yeah.
they had a
That's
big-
And
where
the
all
effects.
the money went.
Yeah, it did. You
Spider-Man.
could tell.
So,
yeah.
so the director of cinematography insisted that this movie be shot on film and not digitally, which is part of the reason why it
Cool.
looks better.
It looks
That's
great.
cool.
Yeah, it did.
it's a
Actually,
good
it
choice.
absolutely did.
Um,
This had a budget of $200 million,
Because it was on film.
and it made $202 million.
Wow.
Hence
Net-
why they
net
didn't
profit.
make the third one.
That's
That makes
crazy.
Me very sad, actually.
Net
Because
profit. That's $2 million in the bank.
I mean,
It is
I
2 million.
suppose.
$2
your
million
money.
towards the next movie. That's our budget.
Yeah.
Jumping on to, let's jump on to humor.
Yeah, they
They
told
had
jokes
some.
in this game. In
Lot
this
of
movie,
them.
they were jokes.
Peter
And they actually landed.
also not
Stop the
quite
cab.
as cringy.
Well,
No,
we can
there's
get to
yeah,
that.
right.
Like,
Cringy
the
Yeah,
cringy
yeah.
stuff, but well, maybe with his
We're still on the
humor, it
good.
wasn't as cringy as well.
Yeah.
Like there was a part where he was doing the fire, like he was trying to make the web, and he's starting a fire. He's like putting it out,
Yeah.
and then his phone starts ringing. He goes and he grabs a wrench and like swings and smacks himself off screen. I think that that's funny little bits.
Yeah.
Him and
Aunt May had some funny.
Yeah, him and Aunt May.
Let's clean the chimney.
Yeah. Where's your face dirty? I'm just cleaning the chimney.
We have no chimney.
We have no chimney.
Something pretty good.
Him and Gwen. Just some of their interactions in this movie were a lot funnier and
It
less
felt like a couple.
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first movie felt like a couple that had been dating for 2 days.
Yeah.
And did the entire movie.
Yeah, just
This-
I kind of like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
See you
felt
later.
like it was a couple who had known each other for a couple years.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So a lot better interaction wise. I mean, sure they're high schoolers, but God, like the first movie, they did not know that. And we can talk about like the interactions
yeah.
a lot. Like this movie really wasn't as cringy, as awkward, as slow
I think a
in
lot of that,
communications as the first one was.
No.
I think a lot of that's to do with he's not really Peter Parker as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
That's
more
true.
Spider-Man than
He's
there's not
grown.
more.
He's grown.
There's no Peter Parker in this movie almost, except for him dealing with.
Gwen.
I almost said married.
Him
Yeah,
and Gwen are
dealing
about
with
the
Gwen
only
really and Aunt May, and that's it.
And,
He's not a like he doesn't do
Harry.
the school thing anymore in
We've
this movie.
said this before. Tobey Maguire is like our best Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield are what I would say are like our best Spider-Man, and then Tom Holland is the best package.
Yeah.
This Andrew Garfield really does shine as Spider-Man. I don't think I've seen a better Spider-Man.
Yeah, like attitude wise
Too
and all.
bad everyone hated him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
That first one really soured it. And I'll be real with you. Peter Parker in this movie wasn't that bad.
No.
It really wasn't that bad because you have
Spider-Man
that-
was bleeding into Peter Parker.
Right.
You have that knowledge that okay, he's already grown
Yeah.
into Spider-Man. What else we got?
Like
We got
Spider-Man's the primary.
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. I got you. I got a list up
Let's
here.
hear them.
Oh,
So when Harry is accessing the archive, after he shocks them or whatever the fuck he does, and he drops the little cube there, there's a list of names. One is Ravencroft, one is Dr. Connors, one is Dr. Morbius, and one is Venom Storage 7U.
Nice.
Ravencroft is the asylum seen later in the film.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah.
Electro was.
Kurt Connors was a lizard in the first movie.
Yeah.
Michael Morbius is
Morbius.
Morbius. and then they
Venom.
set up for Venom, and because they were doing Sinister Six, which they also showed the
Suits.
Doc Ock arms,
Vulture.
Vulture's arms,
Rhino. Yeah, I think that's all we
and
got.
then Goblin would be your other one.
Yeah.
And that's what they were setting up, was that the Sinister Six was going to be the next
Big
thing for him
There
to
was a
deal
lot of
with.
good little Easter egg stuff, to be honest with you.
That'd have been crazy to see.
Oh, it
Yeah,
would have
what a
been
movie.
ridiculous.
The third movie.
I'm
Oh.
telling you, man. Now that I've seen this, going back in recent times, I'm very disappointed this movie didn't get a good sequel. Because
Yeah,
I
it
feel like
would've
they
done really
learned
well.
from the
Yeah.
first one.
They really did. This movie came back
didn't make
way
enough.
better.
Anything else? World
I'm
building?
trying to.
I mean, we just went on.
Yeah,
it.
we
It's
kinda
did
all
go,
all
yeah.
that stuff from
Yeah.
the Easter eggs.
And then they dropped
then-
it.
They had planned 2 more sequels.
Did
I remember
say
hearing
there
about
was
that.
ever like a scene where Mary Jane?
Yeah, so they did shoot
Yeah.
some scenes with Mary Jane, introducing her as like, oh, here's Mary Jane, she's in this universe, we're showing her.
Kind of how they did in Homecoming.
Yeah,
At the end.
yeah. And but then they cut it
Yeah.
because they thought it was gonna be
And then
it was
we
gonna
had,
fill things up
Black
too
Cat.
much. Yeah, and Black Cat's
we
in there.
forgot about Black Cat entirely.
Yeah, secretly.
He's not Black
We
Cat
didn't mention
though.
Chameleon either.
Or Chameleon, yeah, the doctor that's
That
Doing
we were saying
nonsense
that
to,
they were
to
working
Electro.
on Electro down in Oscorp.
is the Chameleon, who is a
Chameleon.
fucking weird Spider-Man
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah, even as the Doctor, you can tell how weird he is. I mean, good actor. He did a
Yeah,
good job
absolutely.
Just being a doctor. And that's kind of to the point where he said they cut Mary Jane. We were talking about this during the movie. There's just too many actors, too many people. This movie had a lot of like canon appearances.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't know, I guess the lore of it, you wouldn't have known like Black Cat or that doctor.
No,
They're
I
just
didn't know
different people.
unless
Yeah,
y'all
like,
said it. Like,
they're just different people,
Yeah.
and they didn't build them to like
No,
No, they're just
Felicia.
kinda
Black
there.
Cat didn't steal anything from.
Yeah, she's
she
not.
you
was
know
being
of.
a little sneaky, but
She's
She
not
felt
in
a
like.
little
She's
thing.
not in a full skin tight
Yeah.
outfit at any
White
point
hair.
with white
She
hair.
wasn't doing anything.
She-
that
she's not
played
doing
it as
anything.
She's gonna turn into
It's
Black
just
Cat
if
later.
you know the name.
I'm
Yeah.
saying this right now.
Yeah,
If
that's-
Black Cat doesn't have white hair when they release her, I'm gonna riot.
They were gonna do a Silver and Black Cat, Silver Sable movie.
I don't want
And it
Silver
got
Sable
canceled.
though. I just
It,
want Black
well, it
Cat.
got canceled.
We
So,
don't want Black Cat.
so they're doing Silk instead.
All right, y'all. this
We
is
had
where
we had Stanley at the graduation.
Yeah.
We did have
He
Stanley
wasn't
Camp.
Hey, I know
graduation.
that guy.
Yeah.
He's not usually that early in the movies.
Yeah,
It was
Well,
it was also very brief
He still
compared
had
to
his-
other Spider-Man cameos.
I mean that last one we had where he's in the science room
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
library.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the
the
library.
library.
Yeah.
Like that one, that one I felt like was a little extended, but I don't know. I felt this one was good. You know, he showed him. He said, "Oh, I know that guy.
I made him.
I created that guy." This is the part where we rate it.
Yep.
So what we give
let
the
me
last
pull up.
everything.
Let me pull up our other ratings. That's what I was doing while I was off screen.
Oh,
here.
sorry. All right, we gotta build some time. So next, we're planning. I assume we're gonna watch Homecoming next,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so that we can continue with this kind of X-Men, Spider-Man. We just finish it all.
Megan give me the highest rating.
And then we'll probably go
Of the
to
last movie.
Spider-Verse,
Oh.
maybe. After
Yeah.
that.
It might be. It should be on DVD by then.
It's out on digital now.
Have
Oh,
we
is it?
all
Yeah,
seen
okay.
it?
I
No,
have it.
me and Liam's right.
You guys are gonna love
This is gonna
that
be
movie.
fun.
What if we don't?
You can't.
I think it's impossible.
I don't.
can't
Even,
not.
I don't think it will either.
You
But I'm
can't
just
not.
saying. I'm just saying.
I'm
Now
serious,
I'm
dude.
gonna have
It's
to
got a
hate
lot of
it.
personality. It's got a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
of
gonna
personality.
My plan's
Too good.
working.
So I'll run down our scores here. Spider-Man 1 we gave a 9.54.
Yeah, let's just do averages.
Spider-Man 2 8.16.
I was about to say.
Oh, look at this.
Spider-Man
this clip's gonna
3
be all of us doing this.
8.3.
This clip's just all of us.
I know it's
doing
because it's a notepad document. Amazing Spider-Man 7.2.
Yeah, that one was way lower. All right. I don't want to start
Okay.
because you guys know where I'm at. Megan, you start.
I'll give it a 9.
Wow.
Oh.
it. Out of 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of 12, everybody.
Out of 12.
She gave the last one an 8.
Hang on.
Keaton
I'll
shit
show
on
it
the
again.
last one.
Keaton hated the last
Yeah.
one.
I give it a 8.5.
It's good. Am I next?
Yeah.
I don't want to be next.
Joey, go ahead.
Give this one a 9.25.
Oh.
Give the
Okay.
first one a 7.25.
Poor bastards.
What about you, Levi?
Pump the score up.
What about you, Levi?
What'd you give it?
9.25.
Oh, yeah, right,
That's why
right,
you
good.
got it.
I'm gonna be real. I'm giving it an 8.
Okay.
I'm keeping it like that was a fun time. That was way better than it's way better than when I went to theaters and paid money to see it.
I disagree. This is what I remember.
I feel like
when I talk about these, this is what I remember. Sorry, I cut you off.
no. I just feel like so. I just caught up on these movies the first time I actually watched them because they're on like Hulu, I think. I watched them probably a couple months last year, not too long ago, and I was like, all right, this is first time watching it. I did not want to watch the first one again. The
No.
second one I didn't mind watching, which
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
says a lot. But go ahead, Jason. Hit him with it.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with the
This is out of 13, mind you.
12.
13.
Out of 12.
The number
12,
13
sorry.
popped up for some reason.
Casey's in love with Gwen
I'm hitting
Stacy.
it with
He's giving it a
Oh,
perfect
my-
score.
no, not a perfect score.
A perfect score.
11? 11?
11.
Okay.
11 out of
A baker's dozen.
Are you okay?
Levi's brain is broken.
No, I'm not. I am not okay today.
I
Ugh.
loved this movie. I love the interaction between Gwen Stacy. I love her death because it is the saddest thing in the world. It's so canon, and I like Spider-Man, dude. This is the Spider-Man I remember. When I want to think of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I want to think of this because he's so snarky, but not overly snarky like he was in the first one.
Yeah, like when the first one, he
This one
definitely
he's
went
like
overboard with it.
cocky
Well.
with something to back it up. In the first one, he's cocky and he's young.
He also got his ass whooped entirely in the first one.
Yeah.
No, nobody
Yeah.
touched him in this movie.
Yeah.
For real, he was. I mean, him and Green Goblin. That's the thing.
Yeah, he was finally strong in this movie.
he
He
really
picked up the car.
dominated against Electro. Like I'm saying, dude, if I was Spider-Man going to fight Electro, I would not. I would leave
Yeah.
because it's a dude who shoots electric blasts that could just
He can
straight up
fly
kill you,
and-
fry your
He's
body.
special beam cannon everybody around here.
Yeah.
Man.
He's broken.
He's putting holes in people.
Yeah.
I wonder how much
he
they
put
paid-
holes in like 8 dudes at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah. I wonder how much they paid 5 o'clock Shadow guy to be in
Oh
there.
yeah,
He
we
had like
didn't
4 or 5
mention
scenes.
5 o'clock shadow. This dude just had. It looked like they took gray paste and just covered his face.
Yeah.
Because
He had the worst case of 5 o'clock shadow I've ever seen.
He's the definition. You look up 5 o'clock shadow on Google, he's there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
So, I should have left that up so we can do math.
Oh,
I mean, we can remember what we gave it.
9, 8.5, 9.25.
See, none of these guys even come close to 5 o'clock shadow, man.
Who's
Paul.
let me see if I can get a calculator.
Jason
out.
Statham comes pretty close,
Jason
though.
Statham does some shadow.
he's
That's a
the-
full sunset view.
This baby's got some pretty crazy 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, yeah. That's Mr. T is baby.
He pities the
Pity the baby.
baby food. Where we at, Levi? Are we gonna give
got
people our numbers? Then we're gonna wrap it up.
9.15.
Sorry, everybody who hasn't.
9.15.
the almost highest rated movie.
Nice, but that first one was just strong, man. Everybody loved it.
Yep.
Except
It's the
Joey.
first one into the movie.
Except Joey.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because Lee and Keaton loved it so much.
Hey, man.
It really is.
Wait, where's my score on that one? Oh, I gave it an 8.
First,
That ain't
I
bad.
love Toby.
I know. I just loved Gwen Stacy. I don't.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
not-
That's
Emma
that's why you got
Stone
11.
helps it. Emma
Emma
Stone
Stone
helps.
helps.
it.
What would you give if it was played by anybody else? A 10 maybe? I think a 10.
6.
Well, now you know why.
Now you know how much of that points is Emma Stone.
Yeah.
That's it, everybody.
That's where the budget went to,
Bye.
Casey.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably like $190 million just paying her.
Bye.
Catch his feet, just like flies, look out. Here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man.